Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Welcome to Facts and Two Cents. This is Petal. As you can see, I am outside. I have not been on here in a while, and so I wanted to drop by and say hello, see how you are all doing, and see what's going on with our faves. I know it's a beautiful Saturday, so I'm assuming just about everyone is out and about doing whatever it is they're doing, and I hope you're having a fantastic time doing it. And yeah, so I know I haven't been on here in a while. I'm wrapping up my month of teaching, and so that's very exciting. Hello, Lorna. Hi. How are you doing? Oh my goodness, I think it's just you and I today, Lorna. I think, oh, well, Karen M is here. Hello, Karen M. How are you? Welcome to my very impromptu hanging out in the park. As you can see, birds flying by me here, just hanging out by a baseball field for a moment. Hello. Um, and so I thought I'd just check in with you, my friends, who I haven't spoken to in over a week. So hope you are all doing absolutely great. I have no idea how our faves are doing. I know they did their event, their interview with CBS and Jane Pauley, and I haven't been on here since. So what I do know is that a lot of people have been they have been posting on X. A lot of different organizations have been posting on X about it, and they are very, very, very excited to get help from the Sussexes, and to basically use their profile to reach families that may not ordinarily hear about their programs, I should say, that help families dealing with the death of a child because of bullying or purchasing drugs or something online. And so so many families all over the world are facing that kind of tragedy. So I saw a lot of different organizations posting what the Sussexes posted on their website about it. And they have a very impacting video there that I really felt like CBS dropped the ball in not including more of that video. They did a little bit of the video, but I think that whole video that the Sussexes have on their website should have been in that broadcast. But the broadcast was great either way. Harry and Meghan talking, and also the families talking about why they're doing it, even though it starts out, as Jane Pauley mentioned, it's a small group to start out, but as Meghan said, you start from somewhere. Even if it was one family, it was worth it. It's worth it to do it. If it saves one child, it's worth it to do it, so yeah, so very excited about that. Hello Faith, hello Lakiva. How are you all doing? Pedal Canada won the gold break dancing. Now, I have to say, I am not here for the Olympics. I have not been really focused on the Olympics, other than I'm very happy that my girl Shikari won. I think she got a silver and then she got a gold, and very, very happy for her. But I did see on X people going off on the breakdancing competition, and they've been like especially going after the people. This girl from Australia, to tell you the truth, I have no idea what this child was doing. I was just like, what exactly are you doing, and why is this an Olympic sport? And it was just hilarious to see. And apparently the girl from Australia is like a movement. She's like a PhD in movement and all of that stuff. And for the life of me, I did not recognize that as breakdancing. So I am very happy to hear Canada won it. I hope it was better than the Australia. Well, yeah, if she won the gold, or he or she won the gold, I would assume it was better than what I saw with the Australian girl. And I was like, I don't know what you were doing, child, but that was not breakdancing. But somehow she was in the Olympics, Hey, but congratulations to Canada for winning the gold in breakdancing. I was just like, oh, and I think the thing with it too is like I haven't like focused on breakdancing in so many years that I was like, breakdancing is still a thing. I guess I don't really pay attention to dancing much, so I didn't even know breakdancing was still a thing. I thought that just went out with as everything else. But hey, it's now an Olympic sport, so there you go. And it's very funny. I'm like, well, where are the people from Harlem who created breakdancing, or is it Harlem or LA? Somewhere for the break. I didn't pay attention to who really started breakdancing. I was like, well, where are these people, and how come they're not at the Olympics? I don't know. Did the U.S. have any competitors who were breakdancers? Maybe y'all could tell me. But congratulations, Canada. I was just like, what are they doing? So it's very, very interesting. Like if it says Harry was right about the hate in the UK. I'm telling you, I am of the belief that Prince Harry is a prophet. I am like, you cannot convince me this man is not a prophet, because every time Harry says something, it happens. I'm like, this man, he has like a sixth sense somewhere, somewhere that he just can sense these things. And to quit, no sooner did Harry talk about not bringing Meghan to the UK because of all the stuff that the press, especially the racism, the Islamophobia, and all of that stuff, the xenophobia that's stirred up by the press and some government officials. And he talks about, it just takes one person to start this stuff, and then you never know. And no sooner did Harry say this, what happened? All heck broke loose in the UK. And I was like, oh my gosh, my goodness. So the UK have been a bit of a mess, and it was great to see the people of the UK who are not here for it, and the people of the UK that are really fighting against racism, all races, getting out there into the street protesting and like, no, we're not going to allow this here. And I think the thing for the UK people that they still have not gotten is, what you're doing is putting a band-aid over the issue. If you have not gotten rid of your press, especially the British tabloid press, then this is going to keep happening, because they're the ones that are stirring this stuff up. They stir that up, and then their trolls online pick it up, and then everything else break loose. But you have to get to the root of the issues. And I know British people, y'all love your tabloids, but the tabloids is the reason, especially not just the tabloids, but some of your right-wing government officials, many of them who work with the tabloids, many of them who are on GB News, who literally have jobs on this tabloid news outlet, that are stirring this stuff up. And you don't get rid of the root of this stuff, And again, too, there are just many people in the UK who are just racist, period. And they're not even at the press. But the people who have the platform that's been stirring this up have been the press and the certain government officials. So especially, also people, those royalists and all of those people. If you don't get rid of the root, then this stuff is going to keep happening. And so unless they start getting serious about what their press is inciting, then this is just a band-aid until the next time. And so it's very, very, very interesting. Yes, I see Lakiva says King Charles spoke, but not about racism. Of course, it took him, a week and something? How long is this going on? 2 weeks? A week and a half, 2 weeks? It wasn't until he basically was shamed into it, and I don't believe he said a thing. I think his courtiers, who sort of caught wind of the fact that the growing displeasure against him and the monarchy, decided to put out a statement claiming Charles, that I don't think King Charles doesn't care. I mean, he is the racist royal after all, and I mean, I guess Lakiva, he's not going to be out there talking about racism and Islamophobia. The monarchy is the mothership of racism, is the mothership of white supremacy. And so a lot of those people who are out there causing a ruckus are his supporters. He's not going to call them out. Why? Because he loses support of them. That's what the monarchy is built on. And so he's not going to do it. And again, of course, he was tagged as one of the racist royals. So just like, I can't get over this whole thing. But yeah, it took him a week of being shamed into it. Even his own press have been like, you're kind of silent for a head of state. You are very silent. And I think by the prodding and embarrassing him to for his courtiers to say something. But I believe that King Charles is the one who? No, I don't. I don't believe any of that stuff. I think his courtiers are the ones who are like, oh, we got to do something before they start coming after us. So yeah. But I think hopefully the British people undersee. I mean, King Charles didn't do anything to quell the riots. He didn't do anything, as you guys were saying. Like, he didn't even call out the racism. He didn't call out the Islamophobia. He didn't call out the xenophobia. None of those things. He didn't call any of those things out. It's the British people themselves who stood up, got on the street and said, we're not going to have this in our community. I think one of the communities was also Birmingham, where Invictus was going to be. It's like, oh no, you know. And so I hope they see now that how useless the royal family is, because they did this themselves. They did not need a head of state to come in there to stop this mess. So I hope that they see that they really don't need to be paying these people 100 and something million pounds to do anything, because they're not fit to do anything. They're not going to do anything. And that'll open their eyes to see, like, look, we can do this on our own. We do not need these people. We can take that 126 million pounds and put it to good use. So people who need homes and all the other things that are going on in the UK. So, I mean, I hope that people put those things together and kick these royals out, because literally, why are you paying these people all these money for nothing? So, yeah. Wait, did I see someone say the U.S. won a medal in breakdancing? Did I just wait? Like, even says GB News and Talk TV had a lot to do with it. A whole lot. A whole lot. I mean, if you just Google, say, either GB News, Talk TV, the Daily Mail, the Sun, Mirror, Express, all of the anti-immigrant, all of the Islamophobia, countless. I would say probably thousands of articles. And people have been doing that and posting it online with hundreds and hundreds of articles that they did that incited this. So again, if you don't go to the root of what this is, and I know like a couple of people who I follow and respect for, they were all celebrating a few days ago because the Daily Mail posted something, against the riot and saying, oh, the people stood up and they were celebrating. I was like, you're celebrating the very paper, then one of the papers that has been the cause of this in the first place, just because they wrote one favorable article. I mean, y'all, so easy. They're going to go right back to doing that, what they were doing. I can't believe that they were celebrating like, oh my gosh, we're on the right side now. I was like, no, they're not. They just are going with where the wind is blowing at the moment. The minute they feel it's safe, they go right back to doing what they've been doing the whole time. It's crazy. Let's see. But I'm trying to find the post. Sorry guys, I'm on just straight on YouTube, so I don't have access to when I click on your post that it pops up on the screen, so I don't have access to that on here. I guess YouTube needs to they just need to like really get this app a little bit better so we can do that. StreamYard does, YouTube doesn't. So, and I'm straight on YouTube right now, but let's see. Veronica says, hi, Pedal and Sussex. What a beautiful day in New York. Yes, it is. It's actually beautiful. We've been having really a lot of rain, even down to last night, a lot of rain every day. And so today is one of those days that are actually really beautiful. Hopefully it lasts. And and it started out really nice and cool. Then I got to the park and it just got really hot. So now I'm in a shady place, so it's a little cool again. So yeah, it's actually really nice today. I'm glad it's not pouring rain like it was yesterday. Karen says, Kamala Harris is in my city tonight in Las Vegas. Yeah, she has been going around and getting huge houses. Packed out. Some people are like screaming, or Donald Trump is a little bit upset because Kamala Harris is getting what he used to get. I haven't paid attention to how full his stadiums are, but apparently it's not as full as Kamala Harris's. So a lot of people are celebrating that, celebrating what she's doing, and unless if you're in the U.S., she picked I think Minnesota governor to be her running mate, and so they are going around now, and then this really weird. It's so funny. They had this whole campaign about how what is it, J.D. Vance, Trump's running mate, how weird he is, and yeah, he really is odd and really really weird person. I saw a video of him like literally the vice president's jet was parked somewhere. I guess she was doing one of her events, and I don't remember what city. And he went literally took his whole team to walk in front of the airplane, and basically was saying that in a few months that will be his plane. I'm like, how weird is that? That is just the oddest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm like, all of you people are nutcases. You're all nutcases fit for asylum, because I'm like, that is madness. Who does that? That's I'm like, even if that's a dream of yours, why are you like? And so he did this whole photo up in front of the vice president's airplane, and it's like, you really are weird. So so I know a lot of people are very excited about Kamala Harris. And then she was in Michigan the other day, and then there were protests, pro-Palestinian protests, and she had this big thing. She's like, I am talking, or I am speaking, or whatever. And so that's been a big thing going around with her commanding presence, and she does. I mean, she is a prosecutor. If you've seen her when she was a senator, and she is different people come, and the Senate is basically doing a hearing. If you've seen her, and one of the big ones was her drilling Bill Barr when he was the Attorney General. That is classic Kamala Harris. So that's who she is. So that's been going around. She does still need to address Palestine. The government, I know a lot of people are like, pedal, I'm not here for Palestine. I'm not here for politics. It's happening. It is not, whether you like it or not, it's happening. What is happening, a couple of days ago, I don't think I've even been on here since Benjamin Netanyahu was in town, and as you guys have seen, he probably may or may not. He came, about a month ago, 3 weeks ago, something like that. Spoke in Congress. I'm like, I have no words for what the U.S. government is. I have no words. Somebody is committing the most the most incredibly brutal genocide ever recorded, ever known to man. And he is coming and speaking in one of the highest houses in the country. And elected officials elected to serve the United States are giving this man standing ovation. And so I'm floored. I am like, when I keep saying every single one of these people need to be voted out of office, I'm not kidding, because they're not here for the United States. They're not here for the people of the United States. And so the vice president needs to be called to account as anyone else who is participating in a genocide. She needs to be called to account for her participation in it. And I know a lot of people is like, oh, but she is the vice president, is Biden's, that's his policy. She is part of that government. And even when Netanyahu was here and there were protests against him, she did not denounce him, she denounced the protesters. Yesterday, her and Joe Biden's administration, even with all the atrocities that Israel has been committing, they have gone ahead and opened the back up instead of banning Israel from getting, which is literally, this is against the law. It's against the law to be funding a government that is committing atrocities as Israel is doing. They've completely ignored international law and has opened back up $3 billion to Israel that they can buy more weapons. And what did they do last night? They bombed their shelter of displaced people, mostly women and children, and killed over 100 women and children last night, after yesterday the U.S. government gave Israel another $3 billion. So you see stuff like that, and she has to be called to account for it. She has to be called to account for it, whether you want her to be president or not. I don't care what the feelings are about it, but this is her government, and she has to be called to account for it. And honestly, my stance on this whole American government is every single one of these people should be voted out of office. I don't care who they are. If you're committing genocide, I don't understand any of these people. I don't care what you're doing, and that's my stance. And I know people hate it, and then people, I get it in the comments, I get it, but I cannot support people just massacring people for no reason. It's like because you want their land. I cannot support that. And so hopefully when she speaks that she says that she wants she wants a ceasefire, but then again she said that quite a few times, and her actions has not proven, the actions of the government has not proven that that is what they want. It's been a lie all along. And so if she is going to be the next president, then she is going to have to go by the will. I mean, if she's going to be serving this country, the will of the people has been over 71% ceasefire to stop this mass murder and to stop the killing of Palestinians. And the U.S. government has been completely ignoring it. And she has to be called into account for it. And unless she changes course, then I can't support. As much as I love her, I've loved her all along. I mean, I used to be one of her biggest supporters, supporting when people were attacking her, especially when she first got into office. But I can't support genocide. I cannot support a government that is massacring people. Again, last night, 100 people, most of them women and children. Can't support that. So I hope she changes course. I mean, I would love nothing more than to see a woman be president. I would love nothing more to see, especially a woman of color. And I know there's this debate: is she black? Is she Indian? Like, can she be both, please? And it's like everybody's like, oh, but she's not black. She's she's Indian or she's Jamaican. It's like, people can be both. Just leave. It's just craziness. Just leave the woman alone. So that's just nonsense narrative going on. I would love nothing more than that, for her to be that, but she has to change course. She has to change course. We can't have someone do that and have a nation do that, and you just give them immunity, and then people have to accept it. No. So that's kind of where I stand on that, and I know people are going to hate me. I know I'm going to get these comments, but that's my stance. I don't mind. You can hate it. I respect your stance on it. This is mine. So that's where I see. But I'm glad she's coming to Vegas, Karen Am. I'm sorry, that was kind of long-winded. I didn't plan on talking about Kamala Harris, but here we are. Lorna says, Petal, you will love Waltz. No outside money, no stocks or bonds. Refuse to pay raises as governor. No real estate. Good. Well, that's good. Good. Now let's see what his foreign policy is. That for me is a big deal, and especially someone who is an immigrant, foreign policy is a big issue for me, especially as for America, that America's foreign policy is far-reaching. It's from here to the ends of the earth, it affects. So it's good to hear that. Now, Kamala needs to change hers. It's just what it is. You just need to change it. So I don't know that she can. I don't know that she can, because especially when you've already taken money from those very people. Again, the president has taken over $11 million from AIPAC, which is the Israel lobby group, and the vice president, Kamala, she's already taken over $5 million from the Israel lobby group. Hence, whenever you see something like, when Netanyahu was here, and she's, instead of condemning him for genocide, she's condemning protesters who are protesting his genocide. That is a big red flag. So unless she changes her policies, this whole thing will just keep going. So again, as an immigrant, foreign policy is a big issue for me. So yeah. Maverick says, Petal, this is not VP Harris's government yet. Joe Biden is still in charge. Yes, she is, but she is in full support of it. She is in full support of it. And on top of that, she is married to a Zionist. So she is very much in support of it. Her not just following along, but the things that she's done, the choices that she's made, the speeches that she's given, she is in full support of it. And so far, she hasn't done anything to show that that will change. So yeah, so unless that changes, then it's just the same thing going along. So I hope she changes, because again, this is somebody that I've loved and supported, but I can't support genocide. I can't support people who are just massacring people for no reason because you want their land. That's the no. That's a no. I don't care who you are. If it was my mother doing it, I would oppose her to her face. You can't do that. So yeah. So yeah, I hope she changes. So let's say, um, my poor mom is listening. It's like, you would oppose me? Yes, mama. If that was you, I would oppose you too. So yeah. Gwen says, someone says don't look for perfection. I can't vote for Trump. Nobody's looking for perfection. You don't have to be perfect in order to not support genocide. Nobody's looking for perfection. You certainly can't find perfection if you're looking at a government. That's crazy. But there are a lot of people who are not perfect, who are not supporting genocide. None of them are perfect. But yeah, nobody is looking for perfection. There are going to be mistakes. There are going to be bad choices. But genocide and for as long as this is going on, and it's not like you can't stop it, you refuse to stop it. And that's the thing with this whole thing. It's not that they can't stop it, is they refuse to stop it. And not only do they refuse to stop it, they're bold-faced lying in our faces, bold-faced gaslighting, and bold-faced providing money and ammunition to massacre innocent people. This is not even like you can't do it. It's like you refuse to do it. And it's just like, hello. So yeah, there's got to be major changes. So yeah, I hope, because the world has seen, especially this country, the men have messed up in so much. It's like we need women to be in charge. We need a woman leading this country, but not one that's committing genocide. She has to change her policies, and I believe pressure upon pressure is what is needed. People cannot be backing away like, okay, we can't say anything, because if we can't say anything, then then Trump would be elected. No, you put pressure on her so she will change, and that is what the thing is. Don't be afraid to put pressure, because their changes need to happen. If you love and care about people, you don't allow them to keep doing crap like this. You pressure them to change, and that is what's needed. She needs to change. Now, a lot of the quote-unquote support that she has from a lot of big-name organizations is going to go away, because a lot of them love her because of her support for Israel. That is clear. So a lot of them are going to run away if she were to be honest about Israel. But she doesn't have a choice. There needs to be pressure on her to change it. I think she could be a great president, but not one supporting genocide. So yeah. Trump has already stated that once he's back. Yeah, he said that. I mean, he doesn't even have to say it. Just from January 6th, we know that. If he goes back, I mean, he even talked about, I don't know, I think it was like a Christian group, quote unquote Christian group. He was saying, oh yeah, if you put me back in office, you'll never have to vote again. And you're like, excuse me? And he's saying it in a way that for them to think that that's a good thing, that they will never ever have to vote again. You just, let him just be a dictator for the rest, and so you never have to vote again. So give him, it's just, I don't even know how people can consider voting for Donald Trump. I really don't. That just has always blown my mind, that people would even consider. And after living through the 4 years of this hell this man has brought on this country, like, I don't even understand how you can want to put yourself back in that position to vote for this man. I'm like, this is madness. This is total madness. So anyways, yeah. I don't want to stay talking about politics. I did not plan to talk about that at all. I do not want to talk. It's a little depressing. But yes, Mad World, he has many times said that. Other than that, back to our faves. That's a depressing world of politics. They are silent. They are doing whatever he's doing. I think I saw back to Meghan and Aro. I think it was either the Daily Mail or one of those things saying that Meghan's brand is in trouble or something like that, and that there's something with getting the copyrights and all of that stuff for her, the different things that she wants to sell as part of Aro. And I think her team put out, I guess, I'm assuming in response to that, put out, and I think it's on People. Someone posted a screenshot on it. I think it's either People or the Daily Beast, one of those. That it said no, that's not the truth. It's they those copyrights or whatever it is, those people, there are things that they needed to revise, which they did, and everything paid for, and that Aro would be coming out later in the year, which is what I thought, because I know some people were saying that it'll come out on her birthday. I didn't expect it to come out on her birthday. I always thought it would be September, or thereafter. So that's what I'm thinking. So there, and again, I'm assuming it's going to come out in time for that whatever show, that home show, I think that she is doing with Netflix. So I'm assuming they all will come out around the same time. Sort of, yeah. Yeah. So I think, at least that's what I think. I could be very wrong, of course. I could be very, very, very wrong, of course, with that. So, but hopefully it comes out soon, because I definitely want to see all the stuff that's happening. Other than that, they have been very silent. It's just every time you look around, it's just everywhere. It's like, oh, the Sussexes want to reconcile, and I saw someone posted another screenshot the other day of apparently the olive branches are back. I thought those trees were burnt. Apparently the olive branches are back. So it's like, oh God, not again. Not again. So don't be surprised if the building bridges come back too, because olive branches back apparently. And so, and apparently it's the Sussexes who are desperate to build a relationship with William and Kate. And it's just like, no, I think y'all just don't have anything to write about. And you have to write something. So crazy. And so yeah, that's the Sussexes are doing whatever it is they're doing under the tree. I'm looking forward to. I have a question, because I thought when I read it the first time that Harry and Meghan were going to be in Colombia. I thought I read the 15th to the 18th, but now every time I read about it, they're saying that no date. They had not given a date, and I was like, but I thought I read the 15th to the 18th somewhere. Did I just make that up? Did I just dream that? Because I'm like, well, where did I saw that? Maybe I dreamt it. Because I could have sworn I saw it said from the 15th to the 18th or something like that of August that they were going to be in Colombia. So now every time I see, it's like, oh no, the dates, they haven't said the dates. And I was like, but I saw the 15th to the 18th. So anyway, I could be very wrong, obviously. So yeah. Oh no. But I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to, and isn't it funny, you guys, that the UK, the minute they heard of Colombia, the UK started putting out all of these things of how horrible Colombia is and how dangerous it is. Never mind that Sophie was in Colombia in November, and when it was really bad, like in 2012 around there, Charles and Camilla were there. And so of course nobody said a word, but Colombia is horrible, just like Nigeria. And only a few days later, with all the stuff going on in the UK, everyone else started putting out travel advisory against the UK, even Nigeria. I just, when I saw the Nigeria travel advisory against going into UK, I had to laugh, because I was like, whoever put that out was like, they must have had such joy in let's, just like you did to us, let's just do that to you. I don't know, I'm just petty like that. So maybe it's just me. But I was like, yep. This is the same UK that was like, everyone else is dangerous except us. And then all of a sudden, you have all these countries, I don't know, like 8 of them, putting out travel advisories against the UK. And I was like, comma. And what's very interesting is there was no, or maybe I missed it. I could have missed it, because again, my head has been focused on my kids and getting our presentations ready and all that crazy stuff. But I could have missed it, but I did not see a travel advisory from the United States about the UK. Is it just me, or was it just not there? And that was very interesting to me, because I'm like, wait a minute. Why was there, if there's not, why was there no travel advisory against traveling to the UK from the US? And I was like, because I've always long suspected that they use those travel advisories against countries that they want to either put in their place or to keep them online, keep them in line or something like that. That's why they do those travel advisories. Because if they didn't, why haven't they? So again, maybe I just missed it, but I did not see one from the United States. So yeah. Oh, hello, Olive and Gwen and all of our squaddies that just came in. Little Mac, hello, Mad World, Elbel. And sorry, guys, if there are any trolls in here, please, you're free to listen. But if you're trolling, we will block you. I don't have the means to filter it when I'm doing it through YouTube, unfortunately. So I hope no trolls come in. If there are any trolls spraying you, so we don't want your comments in here. So there you go. Let's see. Going back through. Mad Wilson, the travel advisory for the UK was the highlight. I'm telling you, I was laughing when I saw that. Not that, I mean, look, it's a very serious issue what was happening in the UK. That I don't laugh about, because again, the root of that whole thing was this, I think it was either 15 or 17-year-old kid that went and killed 3 little girls at this like Taylor Swift dance class or something. They were doing a Taylor Swift themed dance or something like that, and no one has, I still haven't seen what happened and why all of a sudden this kid who looked like a little choir kid went and did that. And then so when that happened, the whole thing started where people in the press and other big accounts on social media started blaming it on Muslim people. And so this whole thing spread, and then all of the riots came with, all of a sudden they were attacking people of Muslim faith, they were attacking immigrants, it was just like they use this as an opportunity to spread all the hate they've been wanting to spread against Muslim people and people, immigrants coming in the UK. And so it's just like, it was crazy. So none of those things are a laughing issue, because it was very, 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 it still is very, very serious. But I have to say the travel advisories, because I am a very petty person, I was laughing because, again, we know what the UK, especially the UK press, did to Nigeria and business in Nigeria, and also doing to Colombia. And so and it's funny, since the whole riot thing in the UK started, I don't think I've seen anything where they're still talking about Colombia. So I think that's probably put them in their place. But I was laughing because I am petty, and I was like, yep, karma, absolutely karma. So yeah. Little Max said, she's talking to Lorna. She says, totally agree. It would make sense to launch RO with the show. The first guest would be Chrissy T, making the sandwich again to promote the jam. Oh, I know, right? Chrissy, talk about someone who, Chrissy just went all out. And I so appreciate it. Whatever you think about Chrissy could be very problematic with some of the things she's done and said in the past. But when you give Chrissy something like this, Chrissy, I'm telling you, Chrissy went all out, and I was just like, you go, Chrissy. And she did. So I totally agree. I'd love to see her do that again. Let's see. Khadijah says the United States put out a statement that basically said the U.S. citizen be careful in certain areas. Okay, so they put out a little advisory there. But compared to how they would do it, I remember when they did it to Jamaica, and the Prime Minister Andrew Holness was like, we reject that. And I was like, you go. So who knows why they did that to Jamaica. I'm like, look, the United States, Anybody should be doing travel advisories. Anyone could put out a travel advisory for the U.S. because a lot of messed up stuff happened here as well. So yeah. Let's see. I am scrolling through your comments. Um, Little Max says the kid was born in the UK, so he is a homegrown loser. It's a 17-year-old, was it 17 or 15-year-old kid? And I don't know what happened there. Some people were saying it's a mental health issue. I was like, that's, a lot of people have mental health issues and they don't go doing stuff like that. But you also see that happen. Who knows what the situation is? Because no one has really given an explanation. Not that, I mean, maybe there isn't. Maybe just stuff, whatever happened in his life to get him to that place where he would do something like that. And the thing that's sad about this, because this whole riot thing has turned the narrative away from really the cause of this whole thing. It has turned the narrative away from the grieving families, and put it on this riot. Like, this whole riot just sort of kidnapped the narrative. And, I just pray for those families who are grieving. And it just, it is an awful situation all the way around. Because as also the family of the child who did it, like, how do you even cope? Like, I don't even know how you cope, how you function after that. Because you're not only mourning your child because you pretty much now have lost that child. And then but you're also having to deal with what your child did to other families and other children. How do you, I don't even know how you cope. I don't even know how you cope. So yeah, unbelievable. Little Max says, I laughed too when Nigeria put out the travel alert. See, I'm really happy that I'm not the only petty one in the squad. Like, we are petty. The UK must be so... Oh, wait, that just jumped. The UK must be so mad, LOL. Where is Sway Sway to remind us how the UK is very much not racist? I know, right? I know. It's just craziness. And it's so wild, again, with the royals. It's like, you would think they would be out there because their one job is to so-called bring unity. I mean, why is this thing, my thing keeps turning? There we go. Let's just skip it over here. As you can see, I'm like overlooking a baseball field right now, which is empty. So they're probably playing on the other courts. But yeah, you would think the royals, this would be the time for them to bring, to be out there calling this stuff out and trying to bring unity and all of that stuff. King Charles did something, thanking people for bringing unity and it's just like, yeah, no thanks to you. You didn't do a thing. William and Kate, who knows where they are. Unbelievable. Let's see. Little Max says, so far, 7 rioters have pleaded guilty and got sentences for 6 to 36 months. Oh, okay. So they are processing this really fast, trying to get rid of and the thing about it that's people have to be careful with, because especially the press, they would want to have this attitude of, oh no, they're just the bad apples, and not that this is just this is a country issue. This is a nation that is, William is like, we're not very much not a racist family, or we're, that a lot of people in the UK that they want to believe that UK is not a racist country. I'm sorry, but the evidence show otherwise. I know it's not easy to have to admit, but they're not just bad apples. This has been a problem in so many situations. I mean, yeah, that you don't want to deal with. So yeah, this is not just these are just bad apples and the rest of us are great. Oh no. So let's see what else is there. What else you guys are saying? Didi says India, Malaysia, Nigeria put out travel advisories about the travel to the UK. I'm telling you, they must have been like, these third world countries putting out advisories against us. That must have gotten their goat. And me being petty, love it. Absolutely love it. It's like, no, we're supposed to be putting out travel advisories against you, not you putting out travel advisories against us. So yeah. Let's see. Coro says history always repeats itself. I know, because we don't learn from it. And it keeps repeating until we learn, and we haven't been learning from it. So yeah. Let's see. El Bell says Charles can't stand up for his people. If you don't stand up for your own, how on earth are you going to stand up for others? Exactly. Which is why I'm like, y'all see, Charles is not even standing up for his own son. He stripped his own son of security. He didn't care about the safety of his own son. What make you think he'll care about you? Which is why I never understood royalists. I'm like, y'all, shouldn't y'all be paying attention to what this man has been doing? He don't care about his own family. Why would he care about you? Why would he put himself out there for you? He's not doing it for his own kid. He's not going to care about you. Unbelievable. Tracy says, if you don't like the fact that people could potentially troll you, then perhaps you should not make a live content. Well, Tracy, I don't want people trolling us. I mean, nobody wants them to troll, but I'm going to keep making live content. Normally, if I'm making it on the regular platform, then we can filter. But I don't have access to that right now, and this is what I have. And I still don't like people trolling. And if you're on here going to be trolling, we're going to block you too. So yes, we don't want it. We don't want trolls. I don't even want trolls listening. You could go away. You're not welcome here. If you're trolling, go troll someplace else. But I won't stop making live content even in those situations. If I can't get you to block you now, we'll just block you later. So there you go. You'll just be wasting your comment because you're going to be blocked. So yeah. Let's see. SRG, Sir G says, what city is this? This is New York. If you're asking this is New York. Let's see. Gwen says these trolls are losing their mind. Unbelievable. Yes, I know, because I don't have the filter available right now. So after the podcast later on today, I will get rid of all the trolls. So if you're trolling on here and you're commenting and we can't get rid of it now, we will get rid of you later. So you're wasting your time pretty much. So yes. Let's see. Going all the way down. Lakiva says, oh, Connie, trolls are mad because the UK has become a joke. I know. Well, it's so funny. It's like, there are great people in the UK. They are great. So they don't deserve, to be looked at like this. But it's kind of like, y'all got to do something about your press. That it's your press that's the reason why, that people think this way about the UK. I mean, I always grew up respecting the UK, and I've ever since understanding and seeing what the press is and how what they do to people, it's hard to respect them. And especially if your country isn't doing anything to get rid of them and to put out laws to curtail some of the things they do, then yeah, you're going to become a laughing stock around the world. And especially they just voted in a new prime minister, Keir Starmer, who we've known for like the last couple of years. If he became prime minister, they're not going to do anything about the press. Why? Because he is literally in bed with Rupert Murdoch. And they have a deal that when he became prime minister, which he is now, that Leveson Part 2 will never happen. And it's not happening under him. We've known that for the last, 2 years. We knew that when Rupert Murdoch had this summer party, Keir Starmer was there. From the moment I saw that, we've talked about it on here. We knew that Leveson Part 2 was going to be dead. under Keir Starmer. So nobody should be shocked at that. So yeah. Lakiva says Nana has not said a word about Meghan and Harry. Nana has not said a word about Meghan or Harry. She's shamed now. What is going on with her? I've lost track of Nana. Is something happened? That's shocking that she hasn't said a word about, because I mean her whole thing was built on that. That's shocking. So I get, again, I've missed a whole lot of stuff. I'm assuming I missed a whole lot of stuff because my head has not been in the royal thing for a bit. So yeah. Let's see. I mean, my thing is, I wonder what, with all the stuff, because apparently one of the cities that were having the riots was Birmingham, and Birmingham obviously is where Invictus is going to be. Look, it's 3 years away, so anything can happen. I mean, but I kind of wonder, it's like when I saw that, I was like, oh, I knew this was a bad idea. I didn't think a riot would be happening, but I'm like, I knew this was a bad idea. With Birmingham, I'm not even mad anymore about the Birmingham thing. I think I'm getting over it. I'm getting over my bitterness. So I'm not even mad about it anymore. I'm just concerned because I'm like, can you be sure that, again, this stuff just happens all of a sudden and you just never know. I mean, but again, it's 3 years away, so you never know. Lakiva says Nana has a new, she has a new wig. I shudder to think. I was like, well, for her sake, I hope it's better than the wigs that she's had. I know, Nana's wig is like, I'm telling you, you don't want to see Nana's wig before you've had, like, you've had your, I guess, if you're a coffee drinker, you've had your coffee, or you've had your tea and you're relaxed. You just don't want to deal with Nana's wig before. Because, like, girl, you need help with the wig. So, or just don't wear a wig. Like, I mean, I'm sure her hair is fine. Go with your natural hair. Just get rid of the wig. It's like, girl. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Cookies and Cream. I know. Look, I'm gonna go back into here and get rid of them. So if you can't get rid of, it's totally fine. Again, when I do live like this on just straight from YouTube, it doesn't have the filters that I have when I use the other platform. So that's why so I can't filter them out, unfortunately. So yeah. Let's see. Oh, little baby is going by me, making joyful noises. Christopher says, hi, it's rain today and it's 56 degrees. Wait, where did it rain? Where are you, Christopher? And where is it 56 degrees? Please send some of that to New York because we're hot. Actually, a couple of days ago with the rain, it was actually very cool where I actually was wearing a sweater. And today it's definitely gone back to being hot. No sweater needed today. So yeah. Let's see. Send us some of your 56 degree weather, Christopher. Let's see. Lakiva says the UK has some really poor people. King Charles takes all the money from them. I'm telling you, I for the life of me, I don't understand. Because if you look at this, what they pay, for example, elected officials like the Prime Minister, it's nowhere near the millions that the royal family has. I don't understand why they do that. The royal family have all these palaces. I mean, Charles alone has about 4 or 5 homes. The Prime Minister, I think they have a home above 10 Downing Street, and then he has a country home. That's all they pay and give to an elected official, but yet an unelected official have all of these riches, and I don't understand it. I don't understand the thinking behind giving the royal family all this money. I don't understand it. So yeah, I'm reading this book, Graham Smith, who, I don't always agree with. He is with that Republic group that they're in the UK, but he wrote actually this book, and it's really good. with some straight up facts. I'm in the part where I'm underfunding part about funding the royal family, and it's just like no elected official make the kind of money that the royal family makes, and I for the life of me don't understand why the government has allowed the royal family and why they give them all that money. It's just like, are you serious? And then they have the duchies, which again, it's not private land. Duchy land is literally the people of the UK's land. And it's just like, you not only get like 126 million in the sovereign grant, which by the way, if they don't spend all of that money, they get to keep it. And then they just add onto that next in the following year. And it's just like, are you serious? And on top of that, they have the Duchy of Lancaster and the Duchy of Cornwall as their personal, money that they get, which they claim, is the duchies as personal, is private. The duchy is not private. That is the people of the UK property. So again, I don't understand why they allow this. Their elected officials don't make that kind of money, nowhere near that kind of money. Yet they allow the king to, somebody need to explain that to me, because I don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So anyways, what else? Lakivi, I think you're it. She's like, the UK people really need to open their eyes to how the royals have everything and they have nothing. I know. But I think they've been so groomed all their lives, especially the older ones, that the royal family, they are put there by God to rule over them, and they can't get out. They can't see beyond that. And so they feel like even though they have nothing, that their royal family has to have all the riches. And it's like, that is a lie. These people are not even British. They're German. Again, I never get over that. They're not British. They're German. And Windsor is not even their names. I just can't. And even though they know that, they just still can't get over that God put them there. I was like, why would God put a German family to rule over you who would have to change their name so that they won't associate them with Hitler? And by the way, many of them were Nazi sympathizers. And it's just like, none of this makes any sense. None of this makes sense. Like, I don't understand. I'm like, will somebody other than the Republic group just wake up, please? Like, none of this makes sense at all. So thank you so much, Cookies and Cream. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And again, I'm so sorry. I know these crazy lives when I can't filter. So this coming week is my final week with my summer program. So Wednesday is my final day. I go back after Wednesday. I can go back to a regular life and a regular podcast on StreamYard platform that actually can filter this. So yeah, sorry about that. Let's see. Angela says, Petal, that's all they have known. Yeah, that's the thing. Because one of the things that I always find fascinating is how adept, whether it's the press, the government, the royals, how adept they are of grooming the public. They have literally groomed the public to accept the fact that Charles can, and whether it's the Queen before and Charles, that it's okay for them to go away for 3 months, go away to their castle where they are celebrating Charles at his palace in Balmoral. And so the whole thing is not that, why are they having all of this property and all of this stuff and we have nothing? The whole drama is, oh, Charles has snubbed Harry and Meghan. And they're not sitting there thinking like, wait a minute. So you have Clarence House, you have Balmoral, you have Sandringham, you have St. James Palace, you have all these Highgrove and all these other properties. You get to go away for 3 months. We're paying you 126 million pounds to go away for 3 months. You do nothing but smile and wave. You've been practically gone for 6 months. Thinking of Kate and William, you've been practically gone for the entire year. Yet we're paying you all of this money. And the narrative is not, why are we paying you and we need to get rid of you, but it's Harry and Meghan are snubbed. Harry and Meghan, who has not been to, I don't even know if Meghan has ever been there, the Balmoral. And they have groomed them into believing that is the narrative that they need to be thinking about. And not that these worthless people are robbing them blind of from all of this stuff. I'm telling you, they are so adept. The press is so adept of getting them, throwing the shiny object of the Sussexes in there so they don't focus on the fact that they're being robbed blind. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my goodness. So it's really, really scary. And so my thing is like, look, if you can groom people to buy into that nonsense, then you can groom them to believe anything. You can groom them to believe anything you want them to believe and get away with it. So, and you're seeing that a lot. And it's not just in the UK, it's the US and all of it. A lot of places where you have dictatorships. I mean, we don't have a dictatorship in the US, but there are a lot of things the government has groomed the US public to believe, and we've believed it and went along with it. I think now with social media now that is so prevalent that people are a lot less likely to believe the nonsense, and people are speaking out more and they're paying more attention, and thank God we have a young generation coming up that's not buying any of the nonsense, and because they have social media and all of that stuff, they have been vocal. They're out there protesting, they're out there doing and speaking up and not allowing the government to get away with stuff. But the government have used the press in the US for years and years and years to sort of groom the public to believe that that the wars that they're out there, yes, there are a few that has been very anti-war, but the majority of the public has been very much into it. They've been very much supporting the government because they've used the press to do the same thing, to groom. I mean, when you think about say no to drugs and all of those things, we had a government basically use the press to get the American people to just sort of buy into that. The Say No to Drug campaign that became where we have today, the new Jim Crow. Where the majority are like, say no to drugs. It's like, they're saying no to drugs, but the only people that are getting affected by that are black people, black families that were destroyed, many of whom are still sitting in prison because why? They had possession, and they had marijuana possession on them. The same marijuana who today government officials are presidents and stuff of companies that are selling marijuana. The same thing that people are in prison to this day. Not that they even plan on selling it, but just that they had possession of it. They are still in prison while government officials have figured out a way to make money from it, and all of a sudden in a lot of states, marijuana is no longer illegal. A lot of that came from that say no to drugs. And the weird part, and not even weird, but the sick part about that is the people who that say no to drugs campaign should have been targeted to, the suburbs of America. That's where the majority of the drugs were bought and sold. Not the inner city, not the kids and the families in the inner city that the cops showed up and arrested, but in the suburbs. That's where the majority, and they all got away with it. They all got away with it. And it's just like, hello. And I think the irony, one of the biggest proponents of that was Joe Biden. They had this thing when, if you got arrested, you had to spend, I think, 5 years in jail. You couldn't get out. That was just a penalty. You go to jail for like 5 years. There was no way to get out. And the weird part of that is his kid is a drug addict. And was this kid a drug addict when you were doing that to other black families, black and brown families? And that's just the sick part of it. Again, the people that got affected, and what did they do? They had this whole campaign, say no to drugs, say no to drugs, say no to drugs. And the people who got, the short end of that were black and brown families. Many of them destroyed because of that. That seemed like it was a great idea. That seemed like, unbelievable. So America, we get brainwashed here too. It's the same thing. They use the press to brainwash people. Unbelievable. So I ain't even planning on talking about the stuff like that. I don't know. I go off in these tangents. Sorry. Let's see. Cookie Susan says, everyone, please continue to pray for the Sussexes, each other and the world. Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please. Again, Harry and Meghan starting their thing, and of course the press is on like, oh, they're starting a. I don't know why they're so obsessed about Harry and Meghan having their own royal court. It's just like, not everybody is interested in starting a royal court. People just want to live their lives. The Sussexes should just live in their life. They're not starting any royal court. I mean, I don't know why they think Americans are so. Some Americans are into it because of the pageantry, but nobody wants to, spend their life thinking about royals. I mean, people love the pageantry, like the weddings and all that stuff, but that's like for like a day, and then people move on. I don't know why they're obsessed with this whole Harry and Meghan starting a royal court. Even if they did, what does that have to do with you? They're in the U.S. So it's just like, stop. Unbelievable craziness. Let's see. Nalathandu, hello. How are you? Wait, didn't South Africa just win a medal? I don't remember what you won. Well, I saw it on the news that South Africa just won a medal or something. Or was it another country? But no, I think it was South Africa that won a medal. So yeah, very interesting stories coming out of the Olympics. And I know that I forgot what her name is, from Algeria, who, oh my goodness, I'm telling you, the news media destroys people. And they, when she won, I think she won against Italy or something like that, the girl who she played against, all of a sudden went and she did her little white woman tears, claiming that, the Algerian athlete is not a woman, that, and everyone started attacking her, claiming she was not a woman just because she's not that traditional white, version of what people assume is a womanly. And she's a woman. It's just, I mean, it's not everybody looked the same. And then so the Olympics had to come out and be like, no, she's a woman. She fought in the last Olympics. Even the fighter from, I think, Ireland or something beat her in the last Olympics. She's always been a woman. And so the Italian boxer then decided to apologize. But after that poor woman from Algeria got blasted around the world, she is now suing. And I hope she, sues some of these news outlets that put out these things that she was not a woman. And it was just like, oh my gosh. And so she just won her gold medal for Algeria. And Algeria is very interesting. That's the second woman to win a medal, because there's a gymnast from Algeria who also won a gold medal. Apparently, she was doing gymnastics for France, got injured, and France kicked her aside, kicked her to the curb. So she decided to, I guess her father is, I'm assuming, is from Algeria, and decided to, compete for Algeria. Promptly won a gold. I was like, well, what do you know? So I don't know if any gymnast from France won anything. I don't know. I didn't look that deeply into it, but very interesting. They kicked her aside because she was injured, and she ended up winning a gold for Algeria. It's like, amazing. And it's so funny. You have all these things with the Olympics that I wasn't even like paying much attention to. But these things come up. I think this girl from St. Lucia won the gold, beating my girl Sha'Carri. That's how I knew, because Sha'Carri is my girl. Love her. But she lost to this girl from St. Lucia. So you go, Caribbean folks. So very exciting for St. Lucia. I'm sure they are celebrating. Now, Lathandy says South Africa won medals in javelin, relay, and swim. Oh, didn't realize that. You go, South Africa. You go. And South Africa has something very interesting happening. I think this girl who was gonna represent South Africa in, I don't know if it's Miss Universe or Miss World. People in South Africa were protesting her because they were saying that she was not South African. She was from Nigeria. And I was like, how did that happen? And so they were protesting, and now the girl decided that she's not going to compete anymore for South Africa. And so I was just like, oh, very interesting. So, so many things happening around the world. So yeah. Let's see. What else? I'm just like scrolling through the chat. Let me see what else you guys are saying. Lorna says, Pedal, it's indoctrination. That starts in school. In kindergarten, you wear school uniform, no individuality. You swear allegiance to the monarch. You are taught about the empire, no mention of slavery. Wow, that is very powerful. My mom told me about, that the queen, like, I didn't grow up with the queen because our country was independent and a republic. Um, so before I was born. So I didn't grow up with all of that stuff. I don't think I even knew. I mean, I knew of her, but nobody, we didn't learn that in school or anything. They didn't teach about the Queen, so I don't really know anything about them. But my mom did say, like, when the Queen would come and visit, like, everyone, just like they do when they go on tours, all the kids go out and, everybody had to have the British flag and all of that stuff. And they're, waving at the Queen, and they were taught that in school. And I remember when Kate and William were in Jamaica, that was one of the things that I heard, that the kids were taught about the Queen in school. And so it's just is really, I'm telling you, they start from early, getting you feeling like and implanting that in your head that these people are sent by God to rule again. These people are not British. Windsor is not their name. And it's just like, I don't even understand this. I don't even understand. If they were British, I could possibly see it. But you have this German family, so much so that when, Christmas time, they don't even celebrate Christmas like British people. They still follow German traditions when they're celebrating Christmas. I'm like, that should give you a clue who these people are. What is it? The Saxe-Gotha, Saxe-Gotha, whatever their last names are. And again, they changed it because they don't want that, association with Hitler. But again, a lot of them were Nazi sympathizers. So it just, and you even saw that photo, that famous photo of the Queen being taught by her uncle this Nazi salute. So when people were up in arms with Prince Harry, which of course was very wrong of Harry to do, and he deserved to get the backlash that he got when he had that Nazi uniform on. But the fact that people were behaving like that was shocking in some way, that a royal would have a Nazi. I was like, yeah, because that's who they are. That's what they are. A lot of their relatives believe. And so that was the least shocking thing for me, because I'm like, yeah, that's kind of the Windsors. That's the Gotha, whatever their last names are. Yeah, they just hide it with the change of the last name. So yeah, even Prince Philip's sister was married to a Nazi. I mean, hello. So it's just like, I don't really understand why people could be all acting like they're shocked. That I was like, look, that's ridiculous. Black Queen, wait, Black Queen, thank you so much for your donation. Thank you. I appreciate it so much. Our awesome moderator. Thank you. I appreciate. Lorna says, Pedal, my first years in school was in the UK. Okay, there you go. Yeah, I mean, in the Caribbean, we weren't really we weren't taught about the Queen, but a lot of the customs was very British. Obviously, the way we pronounce things were very British, because again, that kind of teaching is hard to die. So yeah, while they didn't really teach about the royal family, but a lot of the customs was taught in school. So yeah. Let's see. What else? Yeah, they are not job and very still. I mean, don't come on here, because we're gonna block you anyway. Don't waste your time. We don't want. I don't need you coming on here. I don't need your views. Really don't need it, and we certainly don't need your comments. So there you go. You're wasting your time coming on here. So yeah. What else? I think. I mean, I don't think there's anything else going on. Again, does is it again? Does anyone know when the Sussexes are going to Colombia? I don't know. Maybe I'm really crazy. Like, why did I think it was next week? I don't know why I thought that. I thought I read it. I definitely could be crazy. But I am very much looking forward to whenever it is that they go to Colombia. That would be. You know what? I actually have a friend in Colombia. Ooh. Maybe I can have, I just remember. Oh my gosh, my friend is let me see. I don't even know where, even though I guess the vice president said where they're going to be going, like Bogota and someplace else. But I don't know if my friend is in Bogota or if she's close. So maybe I can ask her to, go snoop out for me. It's like, see if you know where they are and get some photos or video or something. Oh, maybe I'll do that if we can figure out what day they're actually gonna be there. So yeah. Oh, okay. I'll be calling up my friend. So there. Let's see. Anyway, I think that's it, guys. I don't think our faves are doing any. I mean, I don't remember them doing anything else for the last week. I could have missed a whole bunch of stuff while my head was, with our kids. So but anyway, that is ending on Wednesday, and I will be back. So anyways, have a great time. Yes. It's yes, softball area. But anyway, have a great day, everyone. Thank you for hanging out with me, and I shall be back at some point next week, definitely after Wednesday, because then my brain will be back. But have a fantastic day. I love you guys, and I'll chat with you next time. Bye everybody. Bye.